Hello and welcome to this Photoshop tutorial for beginners. For the first step, I will guide you through the process of setting a new dimension to start a new project in Photoshop. Once Photoshop is open, click on the Create New button. If your version doesn't appear like this, you can go to the top menu and click on File. From the drop-down menu, select New. Alternatively, you can use the shortcut Ctrl+N if you are using Windows. If you are on Mac, press Command+N to open the New Document dialog box. In this box, you see various options to customize your canvas. Start by giving the document a name in the Name field. Then you set the document parameters. This step is crucial as it determines the size and aspect ratio of your canvas. You can enter the desired values for width and height, or you can choose a preset dimension from these options. Let's go with A4. With the orientation, you can either work with portrait or landscape by clicking on the icon. For resolution, 300 ppi is generally suitable for print projects. For web designs, you can set it to 72 ppi. Set color mode to RGB. For a better understanding of color mode, I've made a separate video on color theory, so make sure to watch to understand color theory and its elements. Now set the background content to white. Once you set all the parameters, click on the Create button. Now let's move on to the next stage, which is getting familiar with the Photoshop interface. When Photoshop opens, you will see a workspace comprising of various elements such as panels, bars, icons, and palettes. So these individual elements are programmed to perform a specific function when a command is initiated. Now let's go through them. Starting at the top is the menu bar. With the menu bar, you have a drop-down of menu, File, to Edit, to Image, to Layer, and the rest. Just below the menu bar is the Options bar. The Options bar allows you to make a specific setting before applying the tool. Talking about tools, let's look at where the tools are located. So the tools are grouped in a box which is called the toolbox. The toolbox or the toolbar is located at the extreme left by default. In this box, all the tools are arranged in a column. You can click on the collapse icon to change it from one column to two. On our far right are panels. They provide access to features like layers, history, color swatches, etc. You can arrange all these panels with your preference. For quick access and easy workflow, you should arrange the panels like I am doing now. So in this form, you can easily switch among the panels whenever needed. Layers are really essential when it comes to Photoshop, as they allow you to stack and organize different elements of your project. So when you open the Layers panel, you can have elements such as images, shapes, text, etc. You can as well toggle on and off any of the layers by clicking on the I button right beside it. The next panel, too. The Layers panel is the History. The History gives you the freedom to experiment or to make changes without any fear of permanently deleting or maybe damaging your original image. Anytime there is a mistake or perhaps you want to undo an action, you can simply use the History panel. To use a shortcut, press Ctrl+Z if you are working in a later version of Photoshop. But if you are working with earlier versions of Photoshop such as CS5, CS6, you can press Ctrl+Alt+Z to undo an action multiple times. This is the Characters panel, and it allows you to change individual letters, numbers, symbols, and other typographic elements that make up a piece of text. So you can change the space between the text, the space between the individual letters. All these settings can be done using the characters panel. Just in case any of these panels mistakenly disappears, you can go to the menu bar and select window, then look for it. With the windows, we have all the tools and panels which are active here. Anytime you see a check mark beside any of these, then it means it's active. If you need to make any of them active, just click on it and it will appear in your workspace. Coming back to our interface, in the center, you will see a document space. It is called Artboard, and the areas around it is the workspace. You can right-click to change the color of your workspace. If you are working on a project which happens to have a similar color to that of the workspace, you can change it. And to do so, just right-click on the space and select any color, or perhaps choose a custom color to suit your preference. If you are not bothered by the default color, you can just leave it as it is. In Photoshop, all the panels you see can be moved. You can move all the individual panels. You can move all the panels. Place them at where you feel it's convenient. The main focus is it shouldn't distract your workflow. It should give you room to work, so you can position it at anywhere in the workspace without it obstructing your work. Below the options bar is the Documents tab. So with this tab, it indicates the project you are working on. You can add multiple tabs and switch among them anytime, depending on the project you want to work on. So to switch between the tabs, click on the tab you want to work on. Just in case there are multiple tabs and you are not seeing the one you want to work on, click on the collapse icon here. And then with the name, you can click on the project you want to work on. Now you are ready to begin your creative journey in Photoshop. Stay tuned for more tutorials on various Photoshop techniques. If you found this tutorial helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel for more content. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.